Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the Oldham Save. As predicted, it has not been back-to-back promotions. In fact, our first season in the Championship here, we finished in 10th, which is actually not bad considering how badly it started, but we will get into that. Obviously, the last episode was stupidly long, so I'm going to do things maybe a little bit quicker this time, we'll see. I'm not going to bother going over the transfers instead. We are going to look at the squad and you can meet all the transfers there. Okay, we're going in to meet the squad. We're going to start off, though, with the players released. As mentioned before, I'm not going to do the full transfers here, but David Wheater, he was released on a free, and he has retired and has now become an assistant manager, but obviously not for Oldham. Danny Rowe, he went on a free transfer. He is now playing for Fylde. Looks like he had a half-decent season, 15 goals in 45. So that was a decent effort for him. McCann went on a free. He is now at Derry City, and, well, he didn't play for them, or apparently, thus far. Jamie Stott went on a free. Obviously, he was a development player. He's at Swindon, and he's not had a bad season. 7 starts, 1 goal, average rating of 7.95, so he's done okay. Reece Gaskell went, another youth player. He wasn't going anywhere. He's, in fact, still on a free. Lewis McKinney, same story, and I think it's going to be the... Oh, no, Mouche. He is at Scunthorpe, and, again... not done too badly, bless him. Which leaves Mohamed Sia, who is at FC Chamberlain, and again, he hasn't played a game. So that's the players who were released. Now, if we dive into the main squad, we'll have a look. As you notice, we're playing a slightly isometric 4-4-2, which actually saved our season, as I will explain when we go into the season review. But if we meet the team first, we'll meet the squad. Let's start with young Jerome Sinclair, 25 years old. He came in on a free, formerly at Watford. He'd been out on loan mostly. I think he started his career at West Brom and then was at Liverpool for a while. But anyway, he had a decent season, 44 goals. 44 goals. That would have been a great season, wouldn't it? 44 appearances, 9 goals in the league with 2 player of the matches, 6.81 average rating. Didn't score as many goals as I would like. Behind him is Gomez. Now, Gomez, initially at some point we did play 2 up front, which was Gomez and him. Gomez, I think, is a slightly better player. He certainly started out quite well, but as I say, he only managed 12 starts, 5 sub-appearances, 2 goals and 4 assists. But he does, again, slightly younger, does look like an exciting player, so I'm hoping for more from him. Kendra Simmons, we brought him in from Manchester City, and we've since put him out on loan to Newport because he wasn't getting in the side. I have hopes that he will do better. Looks like his development's dropping a bit there, but yeah, I mean, he's done well for them. 16 starts, 5 goals, 2 assists. Average rating is 7.08 even. He's done all right. Obviously, he's not ready to be playing for us in the Championship just yet, but he's there. And Kai Merck, of course, as you know, was there last season. 17 sub-appearances, 7 starts, 1 goal. He's still got another season with us, although I think he's probably going to be transferred. I couldn't turn him into the goal scorer I wanted to turn him into. As I say, we're kind of maybe at the limit of his ability in terms of the division, but yeah, it was a shame not to be able to try and get more out of him. We did quite well on the development side, but could not turn him into a proper goal scorer. So that takes us into attacking midfield, which is Owen Cooper, as you know, has been on loan with us now for 2 seasons, and again, 2 pretty solid seasons. He managed 40 games, 2 sub-appearances, 8 goals overall, 4 assists. No man of the matches at all this season, 6.88 average rating, but yeah, he was pretty good. Diego Diz behind him. Diego is, well, he's never quite reached the level I would have liked him to in the 3 seasons that he's been with us. This season he managed, 11 sub-appearances, 8 starts and only 1 goal and 1 assist. Average rating is 6.67. Pretty sure this is his last season here. Yeah, his contract's going to be up, so he will be moving on, bless him. Moving on to midfield, left wing, we've got Dudley, who of course came in on loan from Hertha BSC. He's actually been pretty good. 29 starts, 4 sub-appearances, 3 goals, 6 assists. He's not been bad, 6.9 average rating. Early on, he was a little bit foully. That was one problem I had with him. And to be fair, even though he is best at playing out on the right, I've been playing him on the left all season. So, but he's done well. I'm going to probably try and extend his loan because, if nothing else, he would be a great backup rather than, say, a first choice. But we'll see if that can be done. Behind him is Dudley, who's currently out on loan anyway, and will be leaving at the end of the season. He did nothing for us this year. I mean, he got 12 starts and 1 sub appearance. Oh, actually, no, that might not be with us. Yeah, no, that was with Exeter. He managed 3 games in the Championship for us and obviously didn't do all that well. He's down at Exeter at the moment and still not doing fantastically. Moving into central midfield, obviously Danny Malina is one of the new signings. He's probably, well, he's certainly my favourite signing of the season, certainly the key signing, I would suggest. I'm not sure what will come up in the end of season awards, but I'm sure he's going to be mentioned. But yeah, he's been really, really good. 44 starts, 1 sub appearance, 9 goals, 1 assist, 6 player of the match awards, and an average rating of 7.14. Again, not the most incredible, abilities, as it were. Attributes, certainly in the technical side. I mean, his physicals are alright, his mentals are not bad, but his technicals are maybe not quite as great. But like I say, fantastic player, has done very well, so I'm looking forward to working with him some more. He's with us till 2024 at the moment anyway, so certainly I would suggest our better player of the season. Behind him, Ola Yinka. He came in from Manchester City. No, he didn't. Sorry, he came in from Arsenal on a free. But he didn't play for us. Did he go out on loan? No, he didn't. He got 2 starts. Well, sorry, 1 start and 1 sub appearances. Managed an average rating of 6.75. But spent some time with injuries this season, which was unfortunate. Plus, he's not really quite ready. I mean, Danny Malina kept him out, that's to be fair. Marsh played quite a bit. I've actually shown him here in centre midfield. He actually played more in defensive midfield, so he's actually on this list twice. But again, another signing in at the start of the season. This one came from FC Wimbledon on a free. Oh no, he didn't. He came from Tottenham, sorry. Former Tottenham player. He got 12 starts, 7 sub appearances, 2 goals, and 2 player of the match ratings, an average rating of 7.13. So he did pretty well, I have to say. Plays as a ball winner midfielder, but like I say, plays just as well back here, which is where he was. So I'm going to take him off of there. And then last is Walter Nichetti. He's not actually joined us yet. He's still currently at Liverpool, but he's joining us on the 9th of June. 9th of July. June. 9th of June. Anyway, as you can see, physicals are not bad. Mentals are pretty damn good. Very brave, very determined, decent amount of flair, very good teamwork, fantastic technique, brilliant passing, brilliant first touch. Clearly a very creative player at only 17 years old, so we've picked him up. He's got, again, fairly decent potential ability in terms of where he sits. But yeah, he needs to improve his concentration apparently. But yeah, young player coming in, sort of development / backup as much as anything else. If we look over on right wing before we get into defensive midfield, Guillaume Thulier, he came in from Norwich on loan, and again, solid. I mean, fantastic physicals and sort of okay in other regards. I mean, brilliant teamwork and work rate. But yeah, 33 starts, 7 goals, 3 assists, 5 player of the match rating, average rating of 7.18. He's been brilliant. He's only 20 years old. Going to try and extend his loan again because I think it'd be great to keep him around, but we'll see what happens. Behind him, of course, Ryan Glover. Ryan been with us for his 2nd season now. He had a decent season last year, 25 and 2 and 8 assists, 2 player of the matches. Average rating 7.06. He's just below the 7.0 this season. He's only managed 11 starts with 7 sub appearances. Thulier keeping him out, and 4 goals he managed as well. 6.99 average rating. Don't think I'm going to be keeping him on. I don't think I'm going to try and sign him. His contract, yeah, he's still got a couple more years with Bournemouth, so we'll see. Again, we're going to be bringing Thulier in. Behind them, we've got Oladipo. He is not with us yet. He's still currently at Liverpool as well. But again, right winger, young, 18-year-old development player. Good crossing and dribbling, fairly decent determination, teamwork, and has some decent potential ability. So Obviously, he's got a certain amount of development to do, but that's kind of the point, you know what I mean? Potentially, I think he's going to be a Premiership player at some point. So, good time to bring him in now. And behind him, out on loan, Kokos, who, well, his contract's going to be up at the end of the season. And I don't think I'm going to be bothered keeping him on. I don't believe he's got the ability to sort of get into the team. He didn't manage a kick for us this season, I don't think. No, he didn't. He's been out with Montoy's football in France and managed 27 starts, 7 goals, 5 assists, and 1 player of the match. So, did well for them, but I don't think he'll be coming back to play for us. Which brings us down to defensive midfield and Alfie Jones. You remember my favourite central defender has basically been playing as a deep line playmaker all season in that position on defend and has done brilliantly. 42 starts, 3 goals, 2 assists. Average rating of 7.11. He also got 3 Player of the Match awards. He was my favourite signing last season. He's been absolutely solid this season too, to the point where he's actually drawn some interest from the likes of Sheffield Wednesday. There's been a couple of others. But they're going to have to pay up because he is worth 4 million now. I mean, I signed him for free from Southampton. But yeah, another solid season from Alfie Jones. I'd like to keep hold of him. We'll see how that goes. Behind Jones, obviously, Marsh, we already met. And behind him, Mizalou, who, of course, he's definitely going to the end of the season. The only reason why he's here from last season, he played enough games to get a contract extension. The thing is, he managed 2 starts, managed an assist, and managed an average rating of 7.0. So he didn't do too badly, but as you can see, he's not going to be around next season, put it that way. He is going to be released at the end of his contract, which takes us down to our defenders. Now, as I will be going into, we did start out with 3 at the back, which didn't work too badly, especially when Alfie Jones was playing there. But once that was deemed to not be working and we didn't have any decent defensive midfielders, this is where we came back to, which meant if we start with left back, Danny Butler, who of course was with us last season on loan, didn't do bad, 35 games, 1 sub appearance, 8 assists, average rating is 6.92, which compared to last season isn't bad. It's pretty close. He's got 1 less goal and 1 less assist, but you know what I mean, he's been pretty consistent, pretty decent, bless him. But of course, our only left back. Central defence, we got Lucas Anti. He came in from Benevento on a free from Italy. And to be honest, has been pretty much solid all season. As you can see, he's managed 45 starts. No goals, no assists, no player of the matches, but an average rating of 6.9. He's a proper defender, as it were. Managed a couple of assists in non-competitive, but like I say, in terms of his performance in the league, he's just been a solid defender. He was 29 when he started with us. He's now at the 30. He's got another couple of seasons, but I think ultimately the plan is for him to be probably a backup for the coming season. I need to strengthen up the back 4, especially the fullbacks, because I didn't get any fullbacks last season, as you know. But there's certainly going to be at least 1, if not 2, central defenders coming in. So we also have Van der Lanot, young player, Belgian, 20 years old, came in from Roselaire, KSV Roselaire in Belgium. He came in at the end of last season. I know he came in. Did he play for us last season? He must have done. 28 games. I'm an idiot. Well, anyway, he's had a slightly improved season this time. 25 starts, 2 assists, 1 goal, 2 Player of the Match awards, and 1 assist. Average rating 7.01, and he's been decent. He has been decent. He played better in the Championship just than he did in League One, so that bodes well for his future. Again, nothing particularly stand out in his abilities, although he's very good in the air, apparently. Certainly getting up into the air and all the rest of it. Plus at 6'3", he's no shorty. So that's Van der Lanot. Behind Van der Lanot, Latibaudier. English, funnily enough. I know it's a very French name. Joel Latibaudier. He came in on a free from Manchester City. Again, average sort of attributes, but they are sort of balanced across technical, mental and physical, which is good. 24 starts, 7 sub appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist, 6.99 average rating. But yeah, he was good. I mean, he actually spent a certain amount of time playing out right, which is not his first choice, but you know what, he didn't do badly. Reason for that being, of course, we only have Zack Mills at right back. And poor old Zack Mills is, well, he didn't have a bad season. 31 starts, 3 sub-appearances, 2 goals, 1 assist, and 6.88 average rating. It was, obviously 6.89 according to that's the league anyway. It wasn't quite as good as he did, obviously, in League 2 and League 1, but, yeah. Zack, I think, is pretty much at the end of his contract now. Yeah, that's it for Zack. I won't be keeping him around as backup. Oh, I might keep him around as backup next season because he didn't do too bad. But anyway. Finally, we look at the goalkeepers. Stephen Bender, you know about. He was with us last season on loan. We extended his loan. He did play 4 games and managed, 1 clean sheet, conceded 4, and, yeah, key saves, 4 and 5, parried, and tipped. So he did alright, and 11 held. He 6.8 average range. He wasn't bad. But quality-wise, we had a little bit better depth. As you know, Woods left. He got sold on. Nathan Cremelu, he came in on a free from AS Saint-Etienne, and he didn't do too badly. I mean, 25 starts, 40 goals conceded, and 8 clean sheets. He played sort of pretty much solidly at the start of the season and was not great. And well, I say he wasn't great. He was all right. It just that the tactics are wrong. The team wasn't performing particularly well together, and it's made his stats look not particularly fantastic. He has gone through some development this season, though, and I can honestly say towards the end of the season he was doing much, much better. Obviously, he's only 22. He's technically a backup, but like I say, he started the season as our first choice goalkeeper. January transfer window came around, however, and I picked up this guy, Joe Lumley. He was on a free, actually, been released by QPR. Yeah, he's been great. In terms of his star rating, he's at a similar level to Cremelu, but in terms of his actual abilities, he's the next step up. I mean, he's managed 20 starts, 19 conceded, 11 clean sheets, 14 tipped, 27 parried, and 52 held. So, I mean, 6.89 average rating. That's not bad. He's done quite well. As you say, he's our first choice goalkeeper. So, we're all right for goalkeepers coming into the next season. But yeah, realistically, I think that our biggest issues are left and right back, plus I wouldn't mind a really decent central defender. And obviously, at the moment, our best wingers and best attacking midfielders are all on loan, so those are areas to look at as well. Okay, so let's review our season. As I mentioned before, it didn't start out all that great. First game of the season at home to Birmingham, we lost 3-0. As mentioned, if you follow me on Twitter, I'd commented about the fact that I'd signed, quite a few strikers. I'd signed 3 in total, and hadn't signed any fullbacks, so I jokingly said, I'll try 3 at the back, and I did for a bit, and so yeah, that's what we were playing, 3 at the back, 3-4-3, I guess, for want of a better phrase, with Diz as a supporting player. And I mean, the front end wasn't bad, but at the back we were bad, and also the goalkeeper was a little bit leaky, it felt. But like I say, 3-0 at home defeat in our first game against Birmingham. Followed that up with a 4-1 thrashing at QPR, with Dudley getting his first goal of the season. We then managed a 3-0 thrashing at home to Watford, nobody scoring, and then the Bristol City game, which that was a corker. We lost that one away 4-6. I mean, that's just ridiculous number of goals. I mean, you can see the shots and the shots on target and stuff, and how our front end was doing well, but at the back we were just awful. And Cremelu, bless him. What didn't help him at the start was, of course, he needed to learn English. So he improved after that. But anyway, after that dismal defeat, we got another dismal defeat against Preston. But this was a slightly different game. I expected us to do slightly better because they'd gone 1-0 up. We made it 1-1. They went 2-1 up. We made it 2-2. And then 91st minute, I was kind of keen to get away with a draw, but it was not to be. They were the better team ultimately. But yeah, and then we managed to shock 3-0 at home win against Millwall with 2 goals from Miguel Angel Gomez and 1 from Cooper. Moving into September, things didn't improve particularly much. Again, still playing the 3 at the back. Oh no, we'd moved on to 4-4-2 at this point. After the first month of being horrible, we did move on to 4-4-2. And yeah, against Sunderland it didn't work. We lost 2-0 away. Against Huddersfield at home we drew 1-1. Glover getting a goal on the 88th minute. Which was quite good. And then we drew 1-1 with Cardiff. This actually almost felt like an improvement, if you know what I mean. Again, Glover scoring this time. And again, playing the 4-4-2. After that, though, away at Swansea, we got hammered 5-2. Yeah, it was about this time, I'm pretty sure, I stepped away from the 4-4-2. I might be wrong. Hull City came up next. That was the start of October. 0-0 draw away. Still playing the 4-4-2, so no, that wasn't when we changed it up. After that, we were at home to Leeds and got hammered 2-0. Again, the 4-4-2. Still playing at that point. I really thought I changed it earlier than that. Charlton away after that, we got a rare win, 2-0. Goals from Cooper and Sinclair. And that was when we changed over to the 4-1-4-1. And Jerome Sinclair actually played fantastically in that match as a sole striker, but he did overall struggle in that position. But yeah, 4-1-4-1 from that point on. That did sort of improve our fortunes very slightly. So faced Stoke at home after that, drew 1-1. Kai Merck getting his only goal of the season. As you can see, we were pretty dominant over them, even though it was still a 1-1 draw. But the 4-1-4-1 certainly at the back was helping us not concede quite as many goals. And then we managed a lovely 2-1 at home to Derby County, whom we were expected to lose against. Goals from Reece Cole and Guillaume Thulier. Moving into November, first game of the month was a 5-1 loss away from home against Reading. Playing a 4-1-4-1, but Reading were just too good. They just rolled over us completely. Luton Town, we managed a home win, 1-0. Thulier getting the goal there. As you can see, we played very, very well. 16 shots, 10 on target. Blackburn away. Blackburn obviously getting promoted with us. Won that 2-1. Goals from Dudley and Zack Mills. I think that was Zack Mills' only goal of the season. And then finished up the month with a 1-1 draw away at Rotherham, with Latibaudier getting the only goal. December was hit and miss. 0-0 at home to Brentford. 2-1 at home to Middlesbrough, which is a cracker. That's 2 goals from Jerome Sinclair. Then we followed that up with 2 away losses. 1-0 away to Notts Forest and 1-0 away to Fulham. Both games I felt like we should have done better, but we didn't. And then we followed that up with a 0-0 draw at home to Charlton. Last game of the month, though, against Derby County. Away this time, we managed a 1-0 win. Jerome Sinclair getting the only goal. January was horrible. 1-0 home loss to Hull. A 0-0 draw at home to QPR. A 3-2 away loss against Birmingham. Cooper still managing to score 2 goals. But yeah, I mean, they went 3-0 up in the first 20 minutes, and we were just fighting after that. I mean, we got it back to 3-2, but it just they got too far ahead. They were playing far too well. We couldn't get past them, so that was unfortunate. And then we finished up the month with a home loss to Preston. Thulier getting the only goal in that game, which then moves us into February. That started out well with a 2-0 away win against Millwall, and I need to check. I think it's now... Yes, we started playing the very slightly isometric 4-4-2 that I showed you earlier. Playing the defensive midfielder, but moving one of the central midfielders up to be an attacking midfielder, and it proved to be successful. That was the first game with it. 2-0 away win against Millwall. After that, Bristol City, a home win 3-0. Cooper, Sinclair and Jones getting goals there. And an away win against Middlesbrough, 1-0 with Malina scoring. We then had a 1-1 away draw with Watford. Watford, I think, were top at the time, when in fact they finished second overall. Was a cracking result. Danny Malina, of course, scoring in that. And then we managed to 0-0 against Nottingham Forest this time at home, which again was a televised match. It wasn't a bad match. I did feel like we should have come away with something, but was not to be. And then we finished out that month with an away win against Luton Town, 1-0. Danny Malina scoring there. March, penultimate month of the season. First game was at home to Rotherham, won that 1-0. Second game against Brentford, lost 3-2 away. Not too surprising, Brentford were a strong team this season, although they only finished one spot above us in 9th. We finished in 10th, of course. Sunderland, after that, at home, comfortable 2-0 win. Goals from Malina and Dudley. 2-0 away at Cardiff. George Marsh getting a goal and Greg Cunningham getting an own goal, one of the Cardiff defenders there. And, of course, home against Blackburn, a nice 2-1 win. Daniel Malina and Oliver Cooper. And the final month of the season, April, we managed a 2-2 away draw with Huddersfield, goals from Mills and Marsh. We managed a 0-0 at home draw to Swansea. Swansea have also had a good season. They have finished in 5th. Reading, we then beat them, surprisingly 2-1 at home. Sinclair and Van der Lanot are getting on the score sheet. Having gone 1-0 down after 7 minutes as well. But as you can see, it's fairly even statistically speaking, although we had the better possession. But yeah, we were the better team. We came away with all 3 points, so that was fantastic. After that, we had Leeds United. Leeds, of course, finishing 3rd overall and having a decent season, but that was a 0-0 draw with them. Fulham game, we managed a 2-0 at-home win. Again, we hadn't done so well against them last time, and of course Fulham finished top, so to get a 2-0 win over them at the end of the season was fantastic. Goals from Cooper and Malina. And the final game of the season against my arch enemy Stoke. They're not my arch enemy, I just always seem to struggle against Stoke. I don't know why. Doesn't matter what team I am, I always suffer a little bit against Stoke, and sure enough, 2-1 away loss against them. Diz getting the only goal. Again, we were the stronger team, both with shots on target and possession, but was not to be. They came away with the 3 points, but that was how our season ended in the league. If we now move on and just have a look at how we did in the the League Cup. Got knocked out in the first round against Rotherham. Rotherham, I think, yeah, they are in the Championship, so they're at our level, but yeah, we lost on penalties away. So that was the end of the League Cup. I think that's 2 seasons in a row. Oh no, we got to the second round last season, but only the first round in the first season. So there you go. We're maintaining our form, should we say, in the League Cup. If we take a look at the FA Cup, however, didn't do very well there either. Third round, we won 2-0 at home. Sorry, 2-0 away at Birmingham, which was a cracker. But then we lost heavily against Everton, 4-0 away defeat. Not too surprising, really. Tom Davis scored, Iwobi scored, and Gomez scored. And Zack Mills got on the score sheet, albeit at the wrong end, as you can see. 24 shots, 14 on target to our 6 and 1. We were just walked over. I mean, we were trying to play the 4-4-2 at that time, and obviously that wasn't working for us either. So that was that. Not quite as good as the previous season where we did get to the 4th. Oh no, that was the 4th round. Yeah, we got to the 4th round 3 seasons running, sorry. But obviously, in the Championship season, we got a bye to start in the 3rd round rather than playing in the 1st and 2nd round. So, that, as they say, is it. That pretty much covers all of our competitions. We've not been in anything else. Like I say, we're not getting promoted this season. We are sitting quite comfortably in 10th in the Championship. Okay, we're going to have a look at the player awards, but we're going to start off with the best 11 following last year. League Colemaners proudly announced that 4 players have been considered good enough to enter the Oldham overall best 11, which is Maxime Van der Lanot. He's the pick of the 4, central defender, accumulated 61 appearances and scored 1 goal for the team at an average rating of 6.98. Danny Malina got in, Jerome Sinclair got in, and Nathan Kremelu got in. Surprised Kremelu did, although he did pick his game up towards the end of the season in the latter games he played, but again, kind of surprised. Jerome Sinclair, I'm also surprised about. Didn't have a bad season, but I don't know. Not enough goals. Definitely not enough goals as far as I'm concerned. So, again, a little bit of surprise. Danny Malina, on the other hand, not surprised at all. He's been absolutely stunning this season. I mean, again, when you consider how good his attributes are, they're not fantastic. I mean, physically he's alright, and mentally he's not bad. But do you know what I mean? He's not I suppose in many ways a standout player. Yeah, he's definitely been a star player for us this season. 9 goals in 44 starts for 1 assist. I mean, I think he maybe only missed a couple of games all season. Absolutely stunning. So yeah, not surprising he got in, but if we have a look at the best 11. They've got the 4-3-3 I was playing with. If we compare it, if we have a look at the season's worth, there we go. In goal, Lumley. I'm not too surprised at that. But, and again, he's picked for the team of the year. Hang on a minute, let me just check something. Oh, I see, that's why. Nathan Kremlin made it onto the bench, as did Dan Malina. As did Jerome Sinclair. They didn't actually technically make it into the first 11. So yeah, that's the first 11. End of season awards. Fans Player of the Season, Danny Malina. Understandably so. 35% of the vote. Second place was Alfie Jones on 28. And Guillaume Thulier gets 23% of the vote. But the goal of the season is against Bristol City from Danny Malina. We'll have a look at that, mate. Danny Malina's great. The only slight problem with him is he doesn't like a big match. And it's a shame, really, because he's probably the best player we've got in the squad, but he does not like a big match. Anyway, let's see if we can view his goal. That was when we were playing 3 at the back. A little bit unsuccessfully. Sinclair out on the wing. Pulls it back short. Thulier's there. Cross it back for Malina. Malina shoots. And there it is. Lovely goal. Got a feeling we lost this match, but I might be wrong. Yeah, we did. 6-4. Look at that. Good God. Anyway, that was the goal of the season. Signing of the season, Danny Malina. Pretty much my favourite signing of the season, as I think I said before. And the young player of the season is Guillaume Thulier, who, as I say, has been fantastic out on right wing. So if we take a look at the season review, few will have tipped Oldham to have been capable of avoiding relegation heading into the season, but Oldham confounded every expectation by achieving a top half finish. We finished 10th. I didn't realise you would consider that top half. But yeah, well, as you can see from our league positions, it was not a great first third of the season. Sort of about halfway through it picked up and we finished up here, but we were never ever really challenging for anything. FA Cup lost in the 4th round, as we know. Championship finished 10th. Carabao Cup lost in the 1st round, as we know. Match of the season 3-0 at home to Millwall. That was an early on one, I think. Back when we were playing the 3 at the back. Oh no, playing 4-4-2 for that one, and we hammered them. And then Reading, obviously, thrashing us 5-1 was pretty disgusting, to be fair, but, you know, these things do happen. That's the 4-1-4-1. But yeah, so that's that. The club vision expectations, well, I mean, we didn't do too badly from last season's. We worked within the wage budget. We avoided relegation, which again is apparently our target for this coming season, is to avoid relegation. So that's good news. It wasn't too bad. Squad dynamics. Dressing room atmosphere was very good. Manager support was excellent. If we have a quick look at the dynamics, yeah, team cohesion is pretty good. It was up and down early on. As you know, our form hasn't been perfect. So for the injury report, a couple of people up top there. Bateman, who's just a youth player. I'm not too worried about him because he's not going to be around beyond the end of his contract. He's not going anywhere. But Ollie Inca, who of course, Ola Yinka, even, who we bought in at the start of the season, he had 5 months out with a broken foot. Sorry, 3 months out with a broken foot, but 5 injuries. So he only played, well, he managed 1 start and 1 sub appearance for us and did okay, but I don't know. We're going to have to keep an eye on that because that's pretty injury prone, I would suggest. Obviously, he's not quite up to standard yet anyway, but still, poor old Ollie Yinka. 3 months with a broken foot. And that's it. That covers the end of season awards. Okay, let's have a look at the final standings. We're going to start, as always, with League 2. Looks like Macclesfield and Yeovil got relegated. Plymouth... Oh, we haven't actually had the playoff finals. Yes, we have. Promoted to Plymouth through the playoffs. 2-0 over Grimsbury in the final. Colchester promoted in 3rd place. Crewe in 2nd. And Bolton going up as champions, having, of course, gotten relegated last season from League 1. So, yeah, they didn't have the best of times. They went down from Championship, almost went out of League 1, and then got re-relegated the 3rd season. But, of course, we've gone straight back up, so that's good. For them, at least. League 1. Relegated are Accrington Stanley, Leyton Orient, Bradford, and Lincoln. Leyton, I think, only went up the same time as we did, so that's a shame to see them go back down. They obviously did not survive. Yeah, they did. They went up with us to League One, survived in League One, have now since gone down. That's unfortunate. Promoted through the playoffs is Peterborough. They beat Oxford 2-0 in the playoff final. Promoted in second is Blackpool. And promoted as champions with a cracking 103 points is Barnsley. So Barnsley will be in League One. I think they got relegated last season. Yes, they did. So good to see them bounce back. Championship, which is of course where we are. At the bottom, Hull, Millwall, and Middlesbrough all got relegated. Middlesbrough are going to be playing League One football next season. That's a bit of a shocker. We finished, of course, in 10th fairly comfortably. -4 goal difference, but considering it was -14, you know, after the first third of the season, you know, that's a good way to come back, shall we say. Promoted through the playoffs, Bristol City. They beat Luton in the playoff final, and Watford and go up as promoted in second place on 102 points, and Fulham go up as champions on 104. Fulham, I think, yeah, they got relegated last season. They've been up and down a little bit by the looks of things. So they went up in 27-18 to the Prem, got relegated, went back up again, got relegated, and they're going back up again. So we'll see, obviously, how they get on next season. And finally, we will look at the Premier League. Champions are Chelsea, with Manchester City in second, Liverpool third, Arsenal fourth, Man United fifth, Tottenham sixth, Everton down in 11th, and getting relegated, Palace, West Brom and Norwich. So we will be playing against Palace, West Brom and Norwich next season. Okay, so moving forward, we of course will be in the Championship again next season. I'm intending to stick with the isometric 4-4-2 that I played. Again, if we can pick up another decent AMC perhaps. But I really liked how it performed. I like the results we got with it and sort of the latter part of the season. I mean, it's what saved our season ultimately, was moving over to those tactics. So I'm going to stick with them. I don't normally play an isometric because, you know, it's isometric. And I like balance, you know, and it just looks kind of funny. But like I say, the way it's played, the way we've done for possession, it's just been brilliant. So I'm going to stick with that, certainly for the Championship. But you never know, it might be a long-term thing. But yeah, so next time you see us, we'll be back here in the Championship, hoping to improve on our 10th place finish, maybe even make the playoffs next season, if not go up. I've been avoiding relegation. This is the Oldham Save. Thank you very much for watching.